Alright, hello friends, how are you all doing? Hello. Poner, thanks for the 14 months, man. Thank you so much for tier 1. One Drunk Man, Rob, Lana, Sap Potato, Rabbit, hello. Eating a freeze-dried ice cream sandwich. Honestly, it slaps. That sounds pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. KB Warriors, hello. Hydrate. Does this count as hydration? It's a decaf green tea. Hey, Ruben across keys, hello. Unselfish 2, Mikio, AK, hello. Druas. ASAP Curry. ZT, no. 10 Peaches, hello. A liquid is liquid. Yeah, that's true. That is true. It is a fluid. It's hydration. Peach flavored? Yeah, it's slightly peach flavored, yeah. Oh, I see. It's like not focusing. Yeah. Alright. Let's get started right away. Because, well, there's really not much I have to announce today, so we can get started. So today's build should be rather simple. It's going to be a 60%. We have our H60 PCB, I believe. Yep, H60 PCB. Sweet and sour pork sauce dipping gang, rise up. Let's go, rise up gamers who dip their pork in sweet and sour sauce on the side instead of poured all over the pork. That is the way to do sweet and sour pork, in my opinion. We have a slightly darker squid here. So today we have another Squid 60, also called the Baka 60. It's the renamed version of the Baka. It's going to be built with silent switches, so don't expect anything special from your sound test today. If you're here, hopefully you're here to hang out and have a good time. But as for a sound test, it might sound like raindrops, because there are silent switches today. But that aside, the keyboard is a nice one. We built one before, actually. I think last time we built it with... We might have built it with Holy Pandas, I think. So, yeah. So here we have our PCB. Okay, it has a USB port. Let's put the bump-ons on. Asking looking real good. Yep. Hey, Sean, how you doing? Hey, Agile One, howdy. How you doing, my friend? I'm using sound alpacas right now. How do you like them? I actually don't know what the comparison between different silent switches is because I pretty much don't use them at all myself. Like, I just don't have any keyboards with silent switches anymore. I used to have a keyboard with silent switches, but I don't anymore. I used to have a couple of keyboards with silent switches, but I just don't use them. Don't really care for them. Mostly because I just don't need to have a silent keyboard anymore. And also because I just don't really enjoy the experience of them as much as regular switches. So, yeah. No girl this time, brother, but all good. I hope y'all are doing well. Let's put the bump-ons on. I think these are all... Oh, these are replacement screws. Okay. So let's just put them aside for now. I don't know what these smaller screws are for. These for the weight too? Let's just put them here. Lube makes them much more consistent. Oh, for silent switches, yeah, for sure. Lubing the silent switches definitely makes them much better. I definitely don't like how silent switches sound stock. Actually, they sound pretty bad, to be honest with you. Let's test this guy. Where's my cable? I think I need to transition to silent switches after we get back to the office. So what I do for office-friendly keyboards, I just use Toper. Toper's pretty good for that reason. Personally, I like using Toper for if I need something more like quieter than a regular keyboard. I try to go for Toper. All right, let's see. Let's open a VIA here. All right, here's our H60. We're gonna go 7U today. Win keyless. Everything else should be normal. We're actually gonna do full right shift today. So there's that. Let's just go for the usual configuration. I'm probably gonna put the layer here instead. Okay. Let's just put basic stuff. Up, left, right, down. Page up. Home, end, print screen, delete. And then we can put the F row here. Okay. All right, cool. That's should be good enough. Actually, let's put this there. All right. Full right shift for a 60%. What a bold choice. Yeah, I know, right? I asked them like, "Hey, are you sure you don't want a split right shift?" And they were like, "No, I want everything ANSI 60 basically as much as possible." I was like, "Okay, alrighty." Let me see. First time using silence, so I think they're really muted as they should be and super soft to the touch. Yeah. She's just spending time with her dogs today. Ooh, that sounds fun. Commuting to work and listening. Oh, commuting to work on a Saturday night. You work nighttime hours, Jeff Leopard. Just try some Sprint Extreme Slow Springs. Pretty fun. See, Jade, okay, silent switch is the best because it's the smoothest. That is true. Yeah, 10 pitches has a good point. Less friction, less sound. Yeah, cherry sounds are unbeatable when it comes to sound. I guess they do dampen quite a lot. Yeah. I think Roselios are pretty good though, like Sakura's Roselios, those kinds of switches. They're pretty good, in my opinion. All right. Whoa, I must have touched something. Let's reset that. I think I must have shorted something. All right, there. Let's see. Do you have any advice for wobbly 7U spacebars? Even with holy mods plus permatext, it's still not completely silent. I wouldn't expect it to be completely silent. That's the one thing I'll just say now. Like, don't expect to be completely silent. If you're talking about rattle, rattle is a different issue. For rattle, I personally first suggest checking how you're mounting your keycaps, depending on what keycaps you're using. Sometimes, like for example, if you're using PBT keycaps, they can be slightly warped. In the case of like ABS, like it might not necessarily be the case, but 7U spacebars can be warped too for ABS as well. So just, you know, make sure you're like mounting it evenly, like, right? So it's like evenly mounted on both sides. What else? There's that, first of all. So first the keycaps, and then if you have to check the stabilizer, just make sure your lubing is consistent on both sides. And first of all, that if you're trying to prevent rattle, that there's enough lube to prevent rattle. There's a lot of stabilizer lubing guides out there, like videos and whatnot, so I highly suggest checking those out. I mean, Nathan has one already, and other people have shown it. I've talked about it on stream. I do it every stream pretty much. So there's that. So yeah, if you're wondering still though, you can ask specific questions and I can try to answer, but at least right now it sounds like it could be the keycaps, it could be a stabilizer, it could be various things, but don't expect a completely silent spacebar, just because that's kind of, it's very unlikely you'll be able to do that. Yeah. Recommended tote board for the office has to be full size. Just a real force, probably. A real force or a Leopold 980C, most likely. Nice TX60. Rocking V1 Xylens. Probably a Caps FN user. Yeah, probably. It's true though that the cherry silence do tend to be pretty consistent for dampening. Jeff Leopard, nighttime and the days of the week rotate. I'm usually watching from work. Oh, I didn't know that. Didn't realize that. But yeah, FC 980C from Leopold is basically full size, and Real Force 104 is basically full size. So either of those two, those are both full size keyboards, and I've used both before, and I like them. So the people forget that Type Heaven exists. I mean, yeah, Type Heaven exists, but I'm personally not huge on the Type Heaven myself, but that's why I just didn't mention it. But yeah, the Type Heaven does exist too. So for those wondering what the keyboard looks like, I'll just show you the internals. Here's the top, pretty simple, rounded, little rounded corners, filleted sides. Here's our blockers, wing keyless blockers. Bottom just has alignment tabs, and the rest is just screw holes to basically put it together. The plate is pretty simple. The plate is just a brass plate here with relatively fixed ANSI cutouts with compatibility for split backspace, split right shift, step caps lock, and it's wind keyless only. And finally, for the keyboard itself, we have the internal here. We have the dog. I think his name is Squid. That's why it's Squid 60. But basically, I think it's Chewwy's dog, and that's BlindAssassin's logo. And here for the alignment tabs, for the alignment of the plate itself, as you can see, the screws themselves go through the plate and then into the case. It is compatible with any left side USB port PCB, and here's the bottom part of the weight. It says Squid 60 in large letters. So that's basically what the keyboard looks like. A dog named Squid? Yeah, I believe that's correct. I've come to like the squish of cherry silence for making MX Xylens. Oh, that makes sense. I guess, yeah, that's true. I did use MX Xylens for a while when I was using silent switches. But I just don't use silent switches anymore. Not really. It's a very nice gray. First of all, the anodizing on this is impeccable. Like, I don't really see any flaws. Maybe you might see some striping here, some gradient going on inside, but it's the internal side actually. On the outside, I don't see that, so it's fine, I think. The gray is a very dark gray. This is like darker than Spray's gray, so definitely a dark gray here for the color of choice. The matching between top and bottom is pretty good. It's pretty much a match in person, at least. In different lighting, obviously you might see some differences, but I think that's just an artifact of lighting. Here's the front. As you can see, the cut from the side goes all the way to the front, So you can see how in the front you can see how some this has been cut off too, mailed off. But yeah, it has some side handles for you to carry the board if you need to. It's pretty heavy actually. I would say like this is at least like a good 3 or 4 pounds. So pretty heavy, especially with the weight, right? So. Got a question for you, Lightning. Do you do 205 for tactiles? No, I don't. I do like Tribosys 3203 or 3204 for tactiles if I want to go for something tactile. Or even I do like 105 or 106 for oil choices. Even 107. But 107 is actually pretty thick for an oil. But then again, oils also like kind of can drip, so just be mindful of that. Alright, so let's get right into it. Let's see. Have you tried... Is this your Squid? No, it's not. It's somebody else's. It's a client's. Have you tried Hyperglide Browns yet? P. Buzzle says. Decided to pick some up from the UK. Pretty excited to try them out. I have not tried Hyperglide Browns because I haven't been looking for any MX Brown switches at the time. But I think people have said good things, it seems. And I would say that I would be excited for them too if I got some. I haven't picked any up though. Maybe I should pick some up, but I'm currently not looking for any new switches. I just have a lot of switches to go through. So I'm really just trying to abstain from purchasing switches at the time. Pretty much. For Lube, we're going to do 205 today. We're just going to do all 205. Just change it up a bit, and also I don't have issues with 205, so we're going to do that. Alright. And speaking of 205, here's our 205. I think he made those, what has BlindAssassin made? That name's familiar. He made the Nexus Alp sliders. He made a few key sets. I think Jimkey Night Runner is one of them. Jimkey Nightshade, I think, is also his set, right? I think that's right. Jimkey Nightshade on Space Cables on SpaceHoldings.net. I think is it BlindAssassins? I forget. I think it is though. I believe it is. He's done he did that Victus something keyboard, 65% with left side macros, very expensive. He also did that. SP111 too, yeah. Although he's currently not anymore associated with the keyboard company. He used to work with keyboard company, like as a business partner basically, but he doesn't do that anymore. He pretty much left their ranks. He doesn't collaborate with them anymore. So SP111 it's his design, but you could see it as something that's now property of TKC. Not property, but you know, associate with them. Thank you very much. Really appreciate the in-depth answer. Problem is that the movement on the keycap itself when mounted is enormous in comparison to 6.25U. Enormous. The movement is bigger than on 6.25U. I don't understand what that means. Is this only on Durock tabs? I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna have to like look at something to like visualize that, because I'm not sure what you mean by the difference between. I mean, I'm not sure what you mean by movement. Like, how is it moving more than 6.25U in what way? Like, you're talking about wobble, but at this point I'm not sure if you're talking about overall, like on one side, or like I don't know what's up. Only use silence on a keyboard with integrated plate, or it doesn't sound good. Have to buy more lube? Yeah, more lube is good. CK wires? No, just regular Durock V1 dark colored wires from Prime Keyboards. Prime Keyboard sells the Durock stabilizers with the smoky housing and the black wires, so don't need to buy any other wires. Night Runner came out great. Yeah, Night Runner's a cool set in my opinion. I didn't get it, but it was a cool set. It fit one of my artisans really well. But I actually got the artisan after the fact, so like I only realized then. $740 Victus? Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, that very expensive keyboard. I still don't understand how it's so expensive. A friend of mine brings it up every so often. He's like, why is this so expensive? I'm like, I have no idea, dude. Like, I think it's just overpriced. Apparently manufacturing or like, you know, whatever, machining. I'm like, I don't think machining wise that board's like that complicated for it to be $740. There's no chance. There's other keyboards that are like bigger or even like more complex that are not at $740 for a price. And if it's margin that they're talking about, well then that's it. It's just, yeah, trying to have a bigger margin for them, right? It's called profit. The V2 ones also have black wires. Yeah, these are V1s actually, but yeah, V2 Durocks also have black wires on Prime KB. How fast does Prime KB ship? Pretty much right away. I think at most they take like 3 days. I haven't had any slowness from Prime KB at all. I mean, it depends on what you're ordering, probably. I mean, if you're ordering switches when everybody else is ordering switches, then they're going to take a little longer. But if you're ordering stabs, but, you know, on a normal time, then they're pretty much going to ship right away. Yeah, I haven't really had any slowness. But yeah, I need some wires, but spacebar wires are out of stock. I see. Hype tax? Yeah, maybe. A report back in the Hyperglide Browns. Gonna throw some 55 gram TX Longboy springs. Should be fun. Yeah, that sounds fun. 55 grams, still a little bit too light for me, but I prefer like 60 or 62 or 65 even for just in general. But 55, I mean, still should be fun. I mean, long ones apparently are like it's like more drawn out, right? So yeah, should be fun. Olivia $500 in our mech market. I mean, there's a lot of shit that's like super expensive on mech market. Like what? Like GMK Darling, I think goes for a shit ton. GMK Botanical these days is fetching quite a price. I mean, buying on mech market's kind of like dumb at this point because people are too greedy. People are too greedy, and there's people are also paying too high prices, which is also stupid. But, you know, I'm not going to judge what people do with their money, like, whatever. I mean, no, I'm going to judge them, sorry. I'm going to judge people what they do with their money. I just think it's hilarious. I mean, it's only been getting worse over time. People doing stupid things on the market. People being, I have no choice but to pay $400 for a GMK set. It's like, yeah, you had a choice to not buy, but you bought it anyway, so that's your fault. But that's the only way I can get it. No, that's not true. I mean, you could just not get it then. You could just get something else that could probably scratch that itch. But I need it. It's okay. All right then. It's not even rich Pepegas. It's not even rich Pepegas. It's literally just people giving into their like desires or temptations. Pretty much. Even if they can't afford it, there's a lot of people who do that. People who are like, oh, I don't really have money to afford this, you know, whatever. And then they're the people who like, there's like people who like go out there and are like, oh my god, how is this GMK base get $135 instead of $120? Or like, oh, if GMK Serica was able to do 110, why is this set not why is this GMK set not $130? And then they're like, oh, but it's because I don't have money, haha, because I spent $500 on a key set on Mech Market like 2 days ago. It's like, well, well then, that explains why you don't have money to spend, because you didn't know how to save. blame the buyers, not the sellers. I blame both. I mean, both parties are at fault, but obviously sellers are enabled by buyers, which is why sellers will sell at a certain price or like mark it up to a certain price. I mean, there's people who will bait, but the problem is the buyers who take the bait and like chew on it. Like it's hilarious. Seeing mech market is it's a fun time. But yeah, somebody I know paid for 300 used Visible Shine GMK Striker. R2 went live during the shipping process. I mean, worst thing, they sell a few months after they buy it. I mean, true. I mean, GMK Striker might be live now, but I mean, do keep in mind that GMK Striker round 2 won't be shipping until basically a year from today. So essentially, I mean, maybe if assuming that GMK like ups their production rate, which is what they allegedly are going to do, which I personally doubt. You know, I still think it's gonna be at least a year, because we're currently seeing like 10 key sets each month, about 10 key sets, maybe like 8 GMK sets or 6. At least there's like 6 GMK sets every single month, at least, and almost all, if not almost all of them, hit MOQ / don't get canceled. So yeah, and some of these are selling like in the thousands at this point, which is insane. So yeah, I mean, 1 year lead time for these group buys is actually not irrational at all. People are like, oh my god, but the lead times are so long. It's like, yeah, like think about it. How many keycaps are being made like each month? Like, how many invoices are being sent out? It's insane. It's an insane number of keycaps. Of course they're gonna take forever to be made, especially like with all the color matching process shit. Yeah, it's gonna take forever. But yeah, remind me of Glars's latest video. Oh, that one was a fun watch. Someone would buy a knockoff case and complain how expensive the hobby is. Has 1K plus graphic cards. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, I can totally justify spending for an expensive watch or an expensive car, but can't justify spending on an expensive key set because, oh, it's just keycaps, bro. It's like, well, it's about the same thing. You're just spending on like luxury. Like you're spending on something that's essentially vanity at that point. So it's a stupid comparison. Like, people who complain about that kind of stuff, it's like it's silly. It's like, oh, but I could buy a nice coat for whatever amount of money, or like, you know, or like or let's say like hypebeast clothing or like whatever, right? It's like, oh, but at least I can wear it. Yeah, but your keyboard is basically wearing your key sets, you know. It's the same thing. It's like, it's the same utility. It's like aesthetic. But anyway, constant GBs in the hobby, aftermarket boards are especially not worth it. I agree. I absolutely agree with that. Aftermarket group buys are totally, I mean, aftermarket keyboards are totally not worth it because there's so many new boards coming out as well. I mean, this applies for boards and key sets for sure. I think selling unlimited group buy, no, I don't have a problem with people selling unlimited group buy items, because yeah, they're basically putting down risk at the cost of their money like a year before, or like however much the lead time is. So I don't disagree with that, Nk87. But I think it's totally fine for me to judge people who are silly enough to spend $400 on a key set in the aftermarket, right? There is no issue with me judging them. So yeah, I mean, people can sell all they want. I think I still find like the buyer seller interaction in there is really silly. That's all. Only thing I bought aftermarket is SA128K. Pay $170 for a GB to ship in 2-3 months rather than $140 for one that'll ship in a year. Yeah, true. I would pay either price just fine. I don't really care about the wait, to be honest. I personally don't care about the wait so much. About the waiting process. I don't understand that keycaps are more expensive than some keyboards to begin with. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, keycaps are definitely expensive. I mean, definitely the premium keycap stuff, like the GMK sets and like basically stuff that's like pretty highly desirable, because like, you know, nice colors or whatever, nice quality legends, all that crap. So yeah, it's definitely there's a pretty big gap there. And yeah, I mean, keywords can be expensive too, though. Okay, sorry. Chat's going fast today. Let's see. Counting between February and March, or 30 GMK sets run concurrently. Holy moly. Why spend aftermarket on GMK sets when you can buy 2-3 GMK sets for the same price at retail? Hobbies about patience anyway, gotta enjoy it. What community do I come back to? Wait, KB Warriors, were you absent for a while? Because I actually realized, KB Warriors, that you haven't been around for a while, right? That's something I'm realizing. It's like I haven't seen your like name pop up anywhere for a bit. Hope you're well, by the way. Are you still doing like the whole social media stuff? Where am I located? I'm located in New York City. GMK might need to start limiting the number of invoices monthly until they can catch up. I doubt they'll do that because it's revenue that they can't say no to. It's too much money. Many things have changed in oh yeah. Well, KB Warriors, 2 years, but you're talking about 2 years from now, which is like 2020 was like a gigantic boom in the hobby, so that's what you missed out on, or like not missed out, but that's what you missed. And so like it's very different, not completely different, it's just much more rampant, and like things move really quickly, except for group buys. Group buys move even more slowly now. So keyword skills are just like swords to samurais. Watches are something I'd only buy if I had a crap ton of money, for sure. Yeah. Luxury watches are antique nowadays because everyone checks their phone for the time. I wear watches, so I'm personally very keen on buying a nice watch. Yeah. Reminds me of Rama M60s. We're going for 1,200 a few months back. People are crazy. Oh yeah, people are crazy is a fact. People are spending $6,000 on TGR Janes, right? So, but TGR Jane's like what? It's like a 3-year-old keyboard now. But yeah, people would buy stuff they like regardless of price, even if it seems less useful to others. Yeah, for sure. Can't join any group buys right now. I'm about to move. Oh, yeah, moving is a big expense. Miniature figurines are another black hole in the wallet. I can attest to that for sure. Stanry, thank you so much for the 13 raiders. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome everybody. Went to college. Rona. Haven't experienced Twitch chats with 20k viewers. True. I mean, I have experienced chat with 20k viewers as a viewer, which I don't pay attention to chat at that point. But yeah. Let's see. Trying to get back in. I'm very overwhelmed. Sorry, because I need to build my mirror. I see an eagle. Oh, hey, those are nice keyboards, KB Warriors. Let's see. Is that thermal yours? Yes, the thermal's mine. I'm liking it a lot. Thank you. But I literally just built it, so I'm kind of just getting around for it. Do you use the C920 for the face cam and Sony for the desk cam? Yes and yes. I think the Tehatype's Tifu Key Cult brought a lot of people in the hobby. Yes, that's true. YouTube Twitch scene exploded. Yes, it did. There's a lot of people on TikTok and all that kind of shit as well. Instagram, a lot of Instagram. Definitely kind of getting pretty full. The space is getting full. But, you know, there's just a lot of people. Get the feeling you don't need a watch because you have your phone, but checking the time on the watch is so much more convenient. I just like watches because they look good. Watches look good and feel nice to have on my wrist. And yeah, I'm actually like, if I'm wearing a watch, I'm looking at the time on the watch. But yeah. Hello, kind ion. Hello. Spending 1.3k. Wee woo. Any loop lickers? What? No, that's nasty. That's nasty. M65Bs are flipping for twice right now. It's crazy. I think that's expected. Yeah, at 20k, you blink, you miss. You miss half of what everyone says. No. You miss like you miss 100% what everyone says at 20k viewers, or like at 2k viewers, with no sub only, like, you know, just like regular unregulated chat. It's insane. But yeah. Let's see. Have you tried Prince Street Pizza? Of course. Yeah, I've been living here for like 4 years now, and I've lived 2 years before that, so I've lived here for like 6 years. So yeah, I've tried most things in New York, or at least most of the staple things in New York I've tried. I haven't tried like newer stuff or like kind of like more gourmet stuff that is probably out of my price range, or at least I haven't managed to like sign up for those experiences. Rather, too busy working. Let's see, vintage Krytox and toast. I remember OGKB Instagram when it was only a couple of people. Yeah, no, keyboard it's an Instagram is huge. How much are M60s going for right now? I think M60s are probably going for less now because there's like other keyboards in the market now. I think M60s are. I think I've seen them for like 700. I'm not sure actually. I'm actually not too sure, but I don't think they're going for any over like. I don't think like a grand is like a feasible number anymore. For the time when they like kind of exploded in popularity, they used to go for like a grand-ish, and they've definitely deflated again because they've also had like a couple of rounds now. So yeah. I now have the ability to read chat messages flying through 50 per second. I mean, good for you. I'm not sure how useful that skill is, but you know. Pandemic probably helped. Oh yeah. Pandemic. Definitely 2020 had a big explosion in hobby things, especially people. I mean, you know, people wonder why flipping is rampant, for example, in the community in 2020, 2021. And I mean, it makes sense too. There's people who are like, there's young people too who are like, you know, jobless, and like maybe they're doing school from home or whatever, and they're like looking for a side gig or whatever, and for them the side gig is basically like buying things comfortably from their home and selling it for a chunk. And obviously nothing respectable about it, TBH, but people will do it because, you know, it's enticing and money moves people. But yeah, I mean, it's always been a thing. It's just gonna be more so enticing nowadays with all this time we can spend at home in front of a computer. No responsibilities outside, things like that. Always has been. Yep. What really got me into a rabbit hole was Hamaji Neo. Huh. Interesting. I actually didn't even know of Hamaji Neo until like a month ago. And even then I still don't know him at all. So there's that. I mean, he's an alright dude though. We haven't talked personally, but I've seen him in like a few places. He's alright. I don't know him though. You got any more of those coasters? No, because the coasters are that coaster was a gift, handmade essentially. Well, not really. It was 3D printed and then painted by a friend of mine. It was for Christmas. One of one poggers, indeed. What's a keyboard enthusiast without an Instagram account? Yeah, at this point, yeah, that's true. Instagram is probably the biggest hub for social media stuff for keywords, and then Twitter probably. I mean, Discord of course, but Discord and Reddit of course, but those are kind of like just mega, like, I don't know, info centers kind of. For all the media stuff, I think Instagram's huge. Let's see. Love watches, but after my grandpa passed and I inherited his 1960. Oh goodness, it was his prized possession. I can't bring myself to where any other watch collection has dust at this point. That makes sense. I think when you have a sentimental value sort of thing that you just like are used to wearing or are used to using because it just holds that kind of value for you, and it just doesn't compare to other things. Like other things just don't hold that weight. Then It's a good thing though. It means at least you can stop there, and you don't have to worry about it like again. But yeah, pay like 200 for my M60. Flex culture is the core of this hobby. True, true. Well, it's pretty core to the like hype focused part of the hobby. More flex, more respect. Maybe I should flex more, huh? Flex is part of most hobbies? Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a material hobby. I'm gonna get one with my bucket on it? What? Wait, what bucket? I don't understand. Oh, your KFC bucket thing? That's cool. Want to start reviewing, but a board launches every week? Yeah, so, KB Warriors doing reviews is a very, very difficult thing now because it'll be very hard to keep up. Not just that, it's like, what do you say? How do you compare them? Like, there's things that there's no prototypes for, there's things that there's just like renders for. Renders are not super reliable either, right? It's just a variety of things, right? Bacon and Tuna, thank you so much for the Prime Gaming sub. Yeah, reviewing stuff, I mean, these days, it's like, some people can't, like, do kind of, like, I mean, Chewwy, right? Like, Man of Interest, he still does, like, This Week in Keyboards and stuff, but it's, like, a very, like, brief overview kind of stuff over things, and I'm not sure what there is to say about reviewing. Like, is there really, like, a review kind of thing to, like, is there really much a review about a keyboard these days? Like, I personally don't understand that. Like, there isn't too much to say about a lot of things. Like, I feel like you just need to have it in hand to review something. So considering that, it's hard to review things based on renders or based on what, like, it's like written on text, like theoretically, because the end result could be different. Could promise a lot of things but not end up being that at all. And even if it were, it's probably going to have a lot of very, very similar like competitors in the market. So yeah, it's just a hard thing to do, especially for keywords. And keywords are like having all that like subjective value to them, right? Like the whole preference thing and yada yada. It's like, how do you really compare things? So yeah, review. I think review is probably a misnomer. Yeah, initial reactions or initial impressions is probably the more apt word. More like apt phrase for that. It's gonna be like, what are your impressions of something and your like opinions of something, but even then it's gonna be pretty like half informed, sort of, because you don't have a product in hand. Or at least I believe you can't really do much. Kairos still does good reviews, but he has actual keyboards. Like he also focuses on vintage. So that's a very different story when you have actual like physical things on hand to talk about. Like you actually can feel it and touch it and compare with other things that you do own. That's a very different story. Oh, hi Soran. Hello. So yeah. JYMV review videos, I'm not too sure. Yeah, whatever. I mean, I'm personally like whatever on them. Whatever on review videos in general. All conclusions went like, it depends on you, it's preference. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what it is. Reviewing mainstream. Yeah, so mainstream keyboards is actually very different. So, okay. Mainstream keyboards super different because in OEM, like mainstream stuff, you actually have like there's a lot of these companies actually put out units like much more quickly too. So you could actually have a physical unit, like whether it's like a review unit or something that they send out to you or something like that, right? That's feasible. I mean, let's put an example. Like Take Keyboards does wonderful review content for OEM stuff, right? And Yeah, that's because he actually has things to compare it to, and he knows about the market specifically. That's not the hobbyist market right now though. The hobbyist market is not like that at all. So there's no like it doesn't translate one to one for the hobbyist market and the custom keyboard market where it is right now. Especially because, well, it is a custom keyboard market after all, and we customize things to our own preference, whereas like in the OEM market it's like preset configurations and whatnot. How much Krytox would you recommend to get for 110 switches? You don't need more than maybe like a couple of grams, like 3 grams maybe. You don't need more than that, by the way, or 3 mils or whatever. Yeah, like a few mils is more than enough for 100 switches. You don't need a lot of lube. Like, I mean, even that might be too much already. So you actually really don't need a lot of Krytox 205 for switches. You really shouldn't be over applying that much Krytox to your switches. All you want to do for switches is pretty much just apply a very, very, very thin coat, and that should be enough. Too much more and you'll make it like kind of like Bye, Lee Turk. Reviews of custom keyboards feel worthless. There are too many variables. Yep. This month there are like 4 or 5 cool keycap sets, and I can't choose which one. I wish they would take into consideration that the competition this month is high, and usually in 1 month, most people cannot buy 5 sets a month. Taking people into consideration like that is basically like saying taking the competition itself into consideration, meaning that like you're trying to give the competition room to succeed. My assumption about the world and about people in general is that people are selfish. Number 1, people are selfish. People care about themselves first and then others. Meaning that if I am the creator of a certain key set and I know that I am going to perform well anyway, because you know I know that my set is going to be pretty popular, yeah, of course I'm just gonna want to run it ASAP. You know, I wouldn't care about any other people, or like the buyers that want to buy this versus others. Like, you know, like I would just run it as soon as I can because I want this product in hand ASAP too. So no, I wouldn't care about what other people are doing. I would just be like, oh, is this vendor's available? Let's run it. Let's go with it. As long as it's done properly, right? Like as long as you don't like mess up any technical things, like color matching, that kind of stuff. Takekeeper's video is more like, look what I can do with keyboards. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, Mendez does really good work. That thermal looks so good. Thank you. I'm glad people like it. I like it too, though. I like it a lot. Been really enjoying it. I mean, it's literally been for like 2 days now, so yeah. Think this is the right spot? Let's see. Actually, not sure. I think it is though. Okay. Did you join any group buys lately? Most recent group buy that I joined must have been I actually don't remember. Give me 1 sec, I can check. Most recent group buy that I joined. Probably Nk87. I think that might have been the most recent one. GMK2Z. I'm planning on getting a GMK Red Alert. So that one's probably gonna be the next one I'm getting. PCB foam's worth? Depends on the keyboard, I would say. Some keyboards kind of benefit more from it, yeah. But I think foams are, I mean, foam in general is, it's kind of a crutch. Like, you should use it only because you need it. But that's my opinion. I mean, some people don't say the same things as I do. I'm personally a no foam, no case foam kind of guy in general. Like, no play foam, no case foam in general, if I could, if I could prevent it. Like, cause I personally think that a good keyboard should sound good without relying on those items, you know? But if it's necessary, like if you think the case is too hollow or something, or it sounds bad, or like it needs something in between to sort of like, you know, get rid of some of the unpleasant stuff, unpleasant noises, then yeah, get foam. I wouldn't rely on it. Like I wouldn't be like, oh, a rule for every keyboard is to have foam for it. Yeah. Are you getting Astralight and Fuji? I actually doubt it. Because I don't think I'll have the money for it. I'm waiting for CRP round 4, so that's gonna be pretty expensive. And I also just bought a 265, so that's a lot of expenses that I actually like don't think I could afford any more than that. So yeah, I think Red Alert is probably the only thing aside from CRP. Alright, let's see. What basically happens if I lube clicky switches? You need to be careful about lubing clicky switches. You could get rid of the tactility or the clicky part of it. Like you won't damage the switch, but you can potentially ruin the clicky, like the clickiness or the tactility of the switch. If you don't know how to lube properly. Yeah, for clicky switches, you definitely need to be a bit more careful with how you lube things, because, yeah. Do you see the IC for Leaf 65? If so, what are your thoughts on it? I have not seen the Leaf 65 interest check. I know that they're working on the Leaf 65 or whatever. Given the Leaf 60 was alright, I would assume the Leaf 65 is just gonna be about the same or better. So I have no real concerns for the Leaf 65. I mean, I think Fox Lab at this point has plenty of experience to base its keyboard, keyboard design on. So I wouldn't be concerned about pretty much anything from Fox Lab. I have no issues with, because I know they've done pretty good work. So yeah, that's just me. If you lube the click jacket MX switch is wrong, you can gunk up the click jacket and the click will be muffled. Yeah, yep. Some people actually prefer the muffled click. So in my case, I actually have a commission right now, for which I'm lubing clicky switches, which is a rare occasion where people ask me to do that. And I am lubing the switches, and yes, there is inconsistency in some of the lubing because it will muffle the click jacket. But that's actually something that the client desired. Like they were like, I'm okay with it. I was like, okay, all right. If that's what you want, then that's what I'll do. So again, it's definitely a bit of a preference thing and a bit of like knowing what you're doing sort of scenario. So, but yeah, I really like the PCB foam sound from Vega. Yeah, I remember I liked the Polaris foam sound too when I tried it. Like even without was fine though, but even with was alright too though. Like I didn't mind it at all. I thought it sounded fine. I mean, it's like the Maja that we recently built too. I think that one I had plate foam on it. The CA66 that we recently built had plate foam on it, like PCB plate foam on it, and they sounded pretty good. So I have no issues with foam on occasion, you know. Like it's just I wouldn't rely on it as a way to make keyboards sound a certain way. So. Drawing over GMK North and GMK Color Chrome. Well, it doesn't agree. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting either of those two. Warp Shine Through. Oh yeah, Warp Shine Through. I do definitely. I'm getting in on Warp Shine Through. Fortunately, Warp Shine Through is just a smaller kit, so a bit cheaper. What the hell? This is like not properly threaded. Oh, it's just like kind of gunky. Okay. Oh, this screw is kind of stripped. I'm gonna use a different screw. I think I should have some replacements, so let's try a different one. Alright, if I want to muffle them, can I do it? Yeah, you can. Again, just be aware that you need to be consistent, okay? Like, that's all you need to really know. So if you're gonna loop switches, just make sure you're doing the same job across every switch, so they don't end up sounding and feeling different. Or at least, like, even if there's some variants that the variant is tolerable for you, like, it's all preference in the end. So like, it just depends on what you're doing. So just choose, you know, loop accordingly. If you can't achieve that result, but after trying a few times, then maybe it's not the right thing for you. Alright, let's see. News on when Evan will be back. Evan's been back. He's kind of deep in the 40s Discord community, so if you wanna look for Evan, you can look for him in the 40s Discord community probably. GMK lead times? Yeah, GMK lead times pretty long now. What are your thoughts on Drop doing recurring pre-orders for GMK sets? I think that's fine. Should vendors adopt this method? If they can afford it, sure, but I don't think most can. I mean, the problem with pre-order method is this, right? You can only as a vendor, you should only really be pre-ordering sets that have, like, first of all, you need to be able to gauge your demand, right? Number one. Number two, you need to be able to gauge how your supply is gonna run out, like how you're going to sell things, like, and how quickly, right? Because let's say you ordered 500 of them and they immediately sell out. What was the point of all that? You would have made much more money just like doing an unlimited group buy or whatever, right? And just getting one full order in and then selling out anyway, right? So in a way, pre-order based, like, or like, you know, like the way they, like, you know, the way Drop does it, it's like guaranteeing like a certain order already and whatnot. Like, it makes sense for them because they are a bigger corporation with more money to spend. And also they can also guarantee that they'll, like, you know, they can manage to store that stuff and leave it around, and it doesn't matter if it sells out immediately or not, you know. Like, they have a bit of freedom there. So it probably depends on that. But yeah, for smaller vendors, I'm not sure if that's feasible. Not easy anyway. It's not an easy choice. There's other projects that you could work on, so it's like money. It's like you need to know where you want to spend your money. Yeah. The curve on the side profile for Leaf 65 is Chef's Kiss. I don't like the thick, dumpy. The back seems really tall and chunky. I wish Drop will do black and white and beige sets. I actually don't want Drop to do any beige sets. They'll ruin it. They'll ruin beige sets for good. Well, it's still better than 909 round 3, I guess. The best round of 909 was round 2. I wish Drop shipped to Mexico. Maybe you just need a proxy. And also, the problem with company shipping is that you have to pay a buttload of taxes, and like you probably have to use like their private company couriers like FedEx, DHL, UPS, and it gets pretty expensive very quickly too. I mean, there's companies that ship to to Mexico, right? I think there's probably a few stores that do, but I'm not sure if that works well for the people in Mexico right now. So I shipped something to my friend in Mexico and it took forever. And obviously I used like USPS at the time because he was like, that's fine. I was like, okay, alright. If that's okay with you, if you're okay with waiting, then sure. Surely Drop can run K1953 off and do no wrong. The problem with K1953 is that you need the Cherry license. I don't think K1953 is ever gonna run again. The way it ran. Not the same way anyway. I don't think they're allowed to. Because K1953, if I recall correctly, was run by Cherry Corporation based in China, which means they had the license by default. So that you can't run any of the novelties in K1953. You would have to remove all the novelties. Also, Drop wouldn't do that. First of all, Drop also wouldn't run that without changing it. There's no possible way that Drop would just run that with no changes or whatever. Surely someone like, I don't know, maybe like Mito or maybe somebody who works for Drop is gonna butt in and do something about it. Pretty sure. I mean, White on Black has changed over time. Drop doing something good and leaving alone? Yeah, never. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm a skeptic when it comes to those things. Don't really trust some people with their decision-making skills. WoW has changed? Yeah, they've changed the kit for WoW a few times. Like the compatibility and whatnot. I mean, like right now it's not bad. It's pretty good in general. But like it's changed. It's changed over time. They changed like some of the legends and stuff. Yeah. There have been changes over time. The design? I mean, what do you mean design? What else is there to design about White on Black? It's just white on black. I kind of like the white novelties for White on Black. I don't mind them. I don't use them personally, but I don't mind them being there. It's like cool. It's like fine. They're just accents. It's like whatever. Whether they include them or not, I don't really care. Do you think Infinity could be a competitor to GMK if they had a company with a better rep behind, like maybe novel keys? No, I don't think so. Well, at least not based on their current track record, and also based on the quality of the keycaps that they're currently producing. I just don't think they're any close. Not even a bit close to GMK. Like they're like miles away. Yeah, probably not. Are you going to get the Cherry Ramacast from Red Alert? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Do you think JTK could be a competitor to GMK? They've tried, but they're still ways away from GMK still. They're still not as consistent. Their legends are still kind of out of like a little bit whack here and there. They've been getting better, but I don't think they're still too close just yet. The caps also don't feel the same. The way they do double shotting is actually different. Okay, that staff's kind of rattly. I still feel weird injecting 205 with a needle. Yeah, same. What stabs? Durock stabs. From Prime Keyboards. Where can I purchase a needle like that for lube? Just do exclamation gear on my kit.co link. You'll find it under build tools, I think, like keyboard build tools. Thoughts on what? Thoughts on what is a GHS rar? Rar. What? Nani? Ratty, hello. How you doing? KB Warriors, I have no idea what you just said. I don't know why this stab's kind of rattly, which is kind of weird. Should I switch this stab out? It's kind of rattly. I'm just wondering what it is. Is it the wire? Or is it something else? Maybe it's a keycap, but I'm not sure. The rest of them are fine now. Backspace, shift. Yeah, these are okay now. It's a 75%? Oh. No idea, man. Sorry. Wish I could tell you, but I have no idea what you're talking about, so I can't tell you any opinions about anything. You know what? I think I'm gonna switch this stab out. This stab is kind of weird. I don't like it. For some reason, this stab feels off compared to the rest. So I'm just gonna switch it out. Full right shift, the client has good taste. They actually sent me a... Let me put it this way, Poner. They actually sent me 6.25 U stabs, but they didn't realize it was 70 only. And then... But then, you know, they're not a step caps lock kind of guy either, so maybe that'll be enough of a disappointment. Okay, I retract. Yeah, I figure you would do that. They're a full ANSI kind of people. Like, if possible, I'm sure they would do 6.25 U. Or at least that's the impression I got. Huh, weird. Yeah, this wire is kind of loose for some reason. Not a big deal, but it happens every so often. I just noticed your coaster. Can I buy that somewhere? No, unfortunately, no. It was a gift from a friend of mine. It was from a Secret Santa thing. So it's a one of one. Basically. I would have to have someone make coasters for me if I want to sell them. Should I tell my friend to make them so he can sell them? I mean, you can throw money at my friend if he were willing to sell it. You know? Can't say if they will, but if maybe I'll pitch it as a business idea and maybe they will. Let them some side cash or something? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, they're into stocks as it is, so might as well. Coaster business to the moon, baby. It's gonna be the new GME, boys. My face when they end up making a Fortune 500 coaster making company. Dude, that would be insane. Oh god. Just the thought of it is like, whoa. Squid 60 it's on the way. Stuck in customs. Oh, I see. Wait, what did they use to send it out? USPS? I'm kind of surprised. I mean, or I don't know what's the hold up at customs. They should have just DHL'd it. DHL is the way to go for international. I personally can't stand any other courier for international. It's so slow. USPS? Yeah, that's the problem with using national post office services, is that they'll get stuck at the other country's customs office. I mean, it's not that the DHL or UPS stuff doesn't go through customs, it's more so that they're faster. They're just more efficient because they just experience a lot more volume for international. But yeah, whenever I get any international shipments, I try to pretty much do UPS or DHL. Like those are the only two I would consider for incoming, especially. And for outgoing, normally DHL is the way for me. Or at least that's what I've sent normally for people like in different places. Like I've had clients from Europe or like in Asia, or someone I have a client like in the UAE, and they usually ask for DHL. It's usually the most useful. Whoop. Never had a DHL delay until the Northeast got hammered with snow. Yeah. So I mean, like, obviously, if it's something like weather related like that, yeah, you could see. Like, I've seen delays like that too before. Extraordinary circumstances, but yeah, normally I've never really experienced any delays with those private couriers. They're pretty good at what they do. I waited for over a month for shipping on 2 MX locks from USPS. Oh boy. Oh boy, MX lock switches. Okay, that's much better. I think the wire was kind of loose on the other one. I just put a bit more lube on here. But otherwise, it's pretty good. Yeah, that's better. Buenas noches, distinguido caballero. ¿Dónde cómo aprendiste a hablar inglés? Tomé clases cuando estaba en México. Y para la prepa, de hecho, estuve en una escuela bilingüe. Y bueno, la secundaria y la prepa estuve en escuela bilingüe. Y más que nada, cuando estaba estudiando inglés en la prepa, le decía a mis amigos que solo me hablaran en inglés si es posible. Porque yo creo que no puedes aprender ningún idioma si no tienes una inmersión completa al ámbito del idioma. Good night, One Drug Man. Have a good one. I think Chewwy recommends putting some electrical tape on the plate under the blockers to improve acoustics. Yeah, because the brass plate kind of has a bit of warping, so it's possible that we might have to do that at some point, but we'll see in a bit. I need to add this emote? What emote? Yeah. I should add that. Yes, I should add that emote. If I have a space in my, let me see if I can log in and add it. That's a good one. I really like that one. It's perfect. Wait. Add to my channel. Do I have space? Oh wait, I need to remove an emote. Hold up. What do I have in my emote that we can remove. Yeah, we can remove this one. This one's kind of ugly. All right. Wait, how do I remove it? Remove. There. Let's. Alright, I added it. So maybe it's gonna be up soon. Alright, cool. Let's keep going with the rest. We're good now. Great, trash that. Frantically spamming F5. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know how long it takes. Actually, I think I might also have to reset the cache on my like chat box settings. I think it also has to refresh the cache for that source. Refresh cache of current page. There. I think I'm gonna refresh the chat here too. Oops, shoot. It works. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Building with full right shift? Yep. Yep. That's what the client wanted. They wanted a full ANSI experience, which is full right shift and full everything with standard caps lock. Except the board is win keyless, so it has to be 7U. Roselios? Yeah, Roselios are nice. I'm not sure if these are Roselios or these are Sakurios, but whichever they are, it's basically the same thing. But yeah, it's those. It's the silent switches from Zeal. I think it's Roselios, but I'm actually not sure. Might be Sakurios. I actually can't tell the difference anymore because I actually don't really use them. So I could have checked the listing, but I was too lazy. I just put Roselios because that was the first name I could think of. What are your thoughts about Alice and Alice-like layouts? I think they're great. I mean, I think they're super easy to get used to, actually. If you can type on the 60%, getting used to an Alice layout is super easy. It's pretty much the same. It's actually very easy to type on. And it might fix some of your typing things, like typing the B or the Y, for example. Or some things that people sometimes get confused about, like with their fingers, and you could fix that by basically just continuing to try on the Alice layout. So, at least the Alice layout gives you the option to do B with either hand, but even then, the split forces you to type properly, relatively. Seeing more base kids include split spacebars because of Alice getting popular. Okay, so hot take? No, not even a hot take, because it's not even a hot take because it's true, actually. It's not even a hot take because it's true. Alice layout saved 40s kits. Alice layout saved 40s kits. Without Alice layout, 40s kits would have died sooner. If you have a 40s kit with no Alice support and you just leave it on its own during a group buy, it will not succeed. It does very poorly. It does really poorly. It's been proven. Like, there's numbers to prove this from previous group buys. Like, I think like GMK Bento, I think is a good way to prove it. I think GMK Bento R2, I think, had that. Yeah, pretty much there's numbers to show that the Alice layout pretty much saved 40s kids from like going extinct. Is this a personal board? It's not. It's almost always not a personal board. I actually have a okay, I'm not gonna say handful. I have a few personal boards I haven't built just because I just haven't had time to focus on my own stuff, because I usually put anything client related first, and then if there's time, I might squeeze something personal in. As it is, people. I mean, most of my clients are very patient, and I am very appreciative and grateful for it. But there are some people who are like, "Is it done yet? Are we there yet?" And I'm like, "No, you'll have to wait like a few weeks or something." Like, I have a thing called a backlog. It happens though. No step caps lock? No step caps lock today. Yep, no step caps lock. Today we're going all vanilla pretty much. Except for 7U. I guess 7U is the only thing that's kind of not 6.25 UANC style. But yeah. My wallet is dying from buying child kits in group buy. That's because you're committing to all of them, 10 Peaches. You need to be more selective about your purchases. I don't buy 40s kits when for example, when I know I'm never gonna use a weird layout or something like that. Or like even spacebar kits I actually skip nowadays, or novelties, because I know I'm not gonna use them. Or because the novelties are not as pretty as I thought they would be. No offense to novelty designers out there, but some kits I just didn't like. For example, you know. That's just how it goes. It's just how it goes. Do TGR Alice really go for thousands on Mech Market? The original TGR Alice goes for quite a bit, yeah. If you have an original TGR Alice and you're trying to make a few grand, you could make some money right now, KB Warriors. If you have one though, I would personally keep it because it's such a great board. I mean, it's a pretty board. But a few grand is a lot of money too. So, yeah. All right, let's get soldering here. I'm gonna keep mine. Grail for the win. I guess the more that it's like super valued, the more it makes you want to keep it too, for sure. I mean, for me, it's kind of more so I just like the board a lot. That's all. But yeah, it goes for quite. I mean, all TGR boards are going for quite a lot of money. Is basically what I'm going to say. You know how people would say like OTD and all that shit. Well, TGRs go for more than OTDs now. That's basically how it goes now. OTD long dead now. The era of OTD is over. I mean, it's been over, but it's also more over now. But yeah. Really looking forward to Gox Type K. Hey, Reverb Slush, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. I just caught you in chat. I'm so sorry. Good to see you though. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate seeing some old faces here and there. It's nice. Nice to be here, hanging in there. That's good. I mean, we're all kind of doing that, right? life is rough, man. All right, let's get soldering. Some noise from the fans. Happy belated birthday. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. Are TT switches any good? Baby Tater, average Baby Tater. I have no idea about TT switches. I've personally not tried them, so I can't tell you. I think people have had mixed experiences from what I just like. I took a quick look at like RMK, just like I did a quick search, and it seems like the experiences can be mixed. Like some people think they're like good, like they've been getting better as of recently. I heard I heard that the new ones are better. Yeah, underrated apparently. Okay, yeah, there you go. So I've heard that same opinion. I've read that same opinion on like Reddit too. Like a few mentions of that. It's in like it's like underrated / like the newer ones like they've gotten much better, and therefore like new vendors are starting to pick them up more. But I can't tell you from experience. I don't have experience with them to tell you about them. If anything, you could also take a look at like if Theremin Goat has any reviews for his stuff, because he does Switch reviews because he's a Switch collector. You know, he has like hundreds of Switches, right? Maybe he has something on his website, Theremin Goat. But I don't know. And Brandon, yeet. Hello. Am I crazy for liking stock MX Clears? No, dude. Stock MX Clears. I used to use stock MX Clears for a bit. When I first started in the hobby, I got a. Oh, was it a Filco or was it something else? But I had a board with stock MX Clears and I used that for a while. And then eventually I actually took them out of that board and I lubed them and used them as ergo clears later on because I wanted to try ergo clears. But I mean, yeah, nothing bad about stock MX clears. I mean, people have liked them for a long time for good reason, right? Like, it's not like people like them for because they have no other choice. They're good switches. It definitely is true that tactile switches also, like, you know, remember that tactility is essentially scratchiness. Like, you need that friction for the tactility to remain there, so that's why stock tactiles are not as bad as like stock linears. Like stock linears that are not smooth are so terrible to type on, but stock tactiles are actually not as bad. Not nearly as bad anyway. Only bad thing about clears is the bottom out force. Yeah, true. I mean, but I think they're kind of made so that you don't have to bottom out on them. You know what I mean? Like the high spring like weight is so that you don't bottom out, you know? Use a filter with stock MX Blue for the longest time. Yeah, I typed on stock MX Browns for the longest time on a Cooler Master board. Cooler Master Quickfire Ultimate was my full size board that I was using for a long time. And then I got into hobby and got Topri. RO59 herb clears though, so good. Yeah, pretty much just like stock experience on steroids. Anyway, let's talk about sponsors, shall we? Or let's talk about the vendors who are currently running group buys and have different items in the store. We first have Canon Keys. You can do exclamation sponsors for the list of all the sponsors and all the affiliate links available. And on Canon Keys right now, we have as for group buys, we have 2 keyboard group buys currently running. The first keyboard group buy that's currently running is the Angel, which is basically the 65% version of the Prophet by Cable Car Designs. The Prophet is a pretty well-rated keyboard that came in a 60% layout with a pin mount system for the mounting of the plate. It was well rated because it offers a softer and comfortable typing experience with this new pin mount system. And the Prophet, and the Angel is basically the 65% version of that. So if you are interested in this keyboard and you look into the Prophet, you'll pretty much get like opinions that should match to what the Angel should be like. Next up on the keyboard group buy side, we have the Cornelius. It's an ergonomic, basically an ergonomic 4E keyboard, like with a staggered column layout. So if you're looking at something like that has like that like Ergodox like layout, but it's a staggered instead of ortholinear, then the Cornelius might be for you. So just check that out. It's on Canon Keys right now, and it's on group buy. On the keycap side of things, we currently have EPT Aesthetic along with the desk mat that's being offered for it, as well as DSA 1930. For accessories, we currently have cases, carrying cases by Canon Keys, which are kind of similar to the TX bags. They have zippers and they have foam in the interior to protect your keyboards. Those are in stock. We also have the ANSI-V2 60% PCBs, which are left-sided USB-C PCBs, programmable with QNK and VIA, as you might know. Those are available as well. There's a variety of switches now available on Canon Keys. The new switches that are currently available are the AE Board's red switches, which are 58-gram bottom-out, long stem pole switches that are linear. And come in a red and white combination. It's a very gorgeous combination. I actually have a batch of these switches that I am actually thinking of using these red switches on my incoming Keycol 265 because it comes in red, and so I think that would be a nice match. There also are the dark amber T1s, which are basically colored T1s. They come in this very beautiful amber, dark amber color. You should check that out. In stock again, we currently have lavender switches, we have lilac linear switches, we have seal switches and Gateron switches as well. So check those out as well. There's also Taro ball switches, which are again JWK linear switches, and Taro no wait, not linear. I think they're tactile switches in a light spring weight and a Taro like colorway. So check those out. Those are in stock on Canon Keys as well. Next up, from our sponsors, we have Mint Autumn. Mint Autumn has just recently posted an update to Rukia Round 2 group buy participants. So if you haven't seen that, you should check out the Mint Autumn Discord to check out the updates. Basically more updates on production, and then more including information about upcoming products such as the Irma TKL and polyethylene version of the Rukia that will be coming later on this year. Just check out Mint Autumn's work. They've been working hard on making injection molding equipment for polyethylene cases, and they've been working hard to get this Rukia Round 2 group buy wrapped up, hopefully soon. The Reds have the PE stem just like the Navy, correct? Don't quote me on it, so I'm actually not sure. I think you should just check the listing website. It's on Kanakys right now, so just check there. I think it's probably accurate, more accurate for you to check. I don't want to say something and be wrong. I know that they have a long pole for the stem, and they're 58 gram for bottom out. All right. Thinking about Lavenders on FR4 play. Anyone tried it before? I've tried Lavenders on FR4. It's a pretty good combo. It's a pretty good combo. Next up, from Mint Autumn, we have Novel Keys. You can check out Novel Keys and get any in-stock item from Novel Keys with a 5% off discount code by using the promo code Thunder on discount on checkout. There is a variety of in-stock items right now, such as different desk pads, as well as TTC Wild switches, milkshake switches from JWK, as well as a variety of dust pads. We also have the barley corn kit from Yankar, currently on group buy we currently have the Nk87 keyboard, which comes it's a TKL kit basically, for similar to the Nk65, but this one comes in a TKL layout with a new novel coat color system for the coating of the case, and it only costs $265 for the kit, plus shipping. So pretty affordable pricing for a TKL kit. Pretty much offers everything that the Nk65 would offer. So that would be like hot swap, QMK via, carrying case, and etc. Plate mount stabilizers, and they've now included a PCB mount stabilizer compatibility as well to their PCB. On group buy as well, on Novel Keys, we have GMK Striker Round 2 as well as GMK Color Chrome, so check those out. They also have dust pads associated with them, and there is a Salvin collaboration keycap available for that group buy for GMK Striker Round 2, so check that out as well. It's themed after a classic football symbol. As you might know, GMK Striker Round 2 is themed after the Japanese national football team, so that's where the colorway comes from. Next up, we have Omnitype, so head on over to omnitype.com/lightning to access the web store, and currently on Omnitype we have GMK Norse available for group buy. And there's a variety of desk pads currently available as well in stock that will ship immediately if you order them, and there is pretty often there's restocks for the desk pads on Omnitype, so feel free to check those out, and feel free to sign up for the newsletter for more news from Omnitype. Next up, we have Prime Keyboards, primekb.com/lightning to access the store, and also of course provide a small kickback in support of the Lightning Keyboards stream. And on Prime Keyboards, we currently have GMK Inukuma, which ends in a couple of days. It ends on the 15th. It's a GMK set again, that has a custom sub legends in Japanese, and in stock right now on Prime Keyboards, we also have Alpaca V2 switches. We also have silent Alpaca switches, different tools, and assorted different kinds of stabilizers. Particularly, there's Durock V2 stabilizers in the Alpaca colorway, as well as in the smoky black, like the ones I'm using today. Next up, we have Project Keyboard. On Project Keyboard, we currently have GMK Astro Light that's currently running on group buy. There's some accessories associated with that, so check it out. Next up, we have Salvin. Head on over to salvin.com. to check out the different collaborations that Salvin has been doing with a lot of different designers in the community. You can also feel free to check out the Wilbutech 60D WeirdFlex PCB as the Wilbutech Graphite series of PCBs on Salvin.com. On Salvin.com, you will also find now in stock there is Salvin swag available, meaning so this is like apparel, like t-shirts and sweaters and so on and so forth. So feel free to check out Salvin apparel on Salvin.com. It's very comfortable. I have one of the red sweaters and it's incredibly comfortable. It's really, really nice. And I can't recommend it enough. Again, just do note that they ship from Belgium, so if you are outside of the EU, for example, it might be a bit of a more costly endeavor to order from Salvin, but I can assure you Salvin can guarantee you excellent customer service. Next up we have, and finally we have, Space Cables or spaceholdings.net, where you can access the store. Currently we have GMK Nightshade, designed by Mr. BlindAssassin, and we also have a variety of cable collaborations. Pretty much any cable, any key set that you've seen that's currently live, there is likely a cable collaboration with Space Cables for that particular colorway. So if there's any particular colorway that you're looking for this month, you can probably check out spaceholdings.net to see if there's any cables available for them. And then finally, there's 2 different despot designs available on Space Cables. And upcoming on Space Cables, we will have more cool, interesting items. Maybe keyboard related stuff. Maybe actual keyboard kits as well. So more coming soon on Space Cables. I'm pretty excited about what they have to bring to the scene, and I can't wait till we get to check those out. All right, that's all for the sponsor segment. I think I did a good job today. I was a bit more organized today. Let's see, is there a big difference between FR4 and brass? Yeah, I think the difference between FR4 and brass is actually quite significant. Brass is actually quite is pretty dense, and so it's much less flexible. It does dampen some of the downstroke, like some of the bottom out a lot. FR4 is like fiberglass, so it's gonna be a bit softer. Like, it's definitely not super soft like a plastic, but it definitely has a degree of softness relative to brass. People say that allegedly FR4 sounds like deeper or whatever, but I can't confirm that. Like, I will just say like it sounds good with certain switches, or like I'll just say like overall, like I haven't had any issues with FR4 plates. So, and they're also cheap to produce, so no issues with that. But yeah, I personally highly recommend checking out an FR4 plate if you haven't tried it before. It's a pretty nice typing experience overall. Like, it's like somewhat soft, and at the same time, like it's cheap to get. So there's quite a lot of options, and it comes like with like different kind of like finish, because depends on how you do the mask, the silk screen. So yeah. A lot of people are going away from brass, especially with all the gasket mounted boards recently. Yeah, that is indeed true. There is a bit of there kind of is a bit of a meta with like softer typing experience, like keyboards with gasket mounting and that kind of stuff. Would you say it's kind of woody? Would you say FR4 is kind of woody? Yeah, it's a bit like maple, maybe. You could compare with some hinoki from Japan, like some that's sweet. Maybe between maple and cypress. I'm not sure. It's an interesting tone that you would get from FR4. Okay, I'm just shooting the shit with Viper, so you can ignore that part. The red hoodie looks nice. I have the red hoodie. It's super nice. The red hoodie from Salvin is so nice. It's super comfortable. Cheap doesn't always equal worse. That's absolutely correct. 100%. I mean, people shit on aluminum because it's like the default option, but aluminum is still my favorite plate material. But it's the default option after all, right? So, again, it makes no sense. There's no point. Koi is actually making a wood 265 plate. That sounds fun. Lightning, what would you think about a US made keyboard? I know some people who are in the US making keyboards. The guy making the Palmetto Arslock, he's making a keyboard in where was he? Was he in South Carolina? Is that right? I think that's right. But yeah, he's located in the US and he's making a keyboard. Let's see if this has any rattle or anything. Oh, this brass plate is actually super nice and tight in there. But let me check. Yeah, no, this brass plate is actually really nicely in place today. We might not have to apply any sort of tape or anything because this plate's perfectly fitted. There's no Kona W. Oh, did I used to have that and now I don't have it? Is that what I deleted by accident or something? I thought I... As a Canadian, I love a maple plate. I was talking to my dad who's in machining and knows a couple of people, and I feel like I could make a design that would be interesting. Machining is a non-trivial process, Sean. So if you can look into it without obviously you know, cracking your head over it and, you know, feeling a lot of despair, then go ahead. But people shit on aluminum plates, yeah, all the time, especially newbies. I think newbies tend to kind of be like, oh, aluminum plates like the default option, brass is way better because you know the Teja types had the brass plate on the field with the holy panders. So yeah. What color is the thermal? It's moon. It's gray. Thoughts on GMK Norris? I think it's a cool key set. I personally, the only thing that's stopping me is the modifier alignment, and also the colors. Actually, I think I might have preferred some slightly different colorway for Norris, but it's a pretty cool key set nonetheless. I think the Norse sub legends, the Nordic rune, the runic sub legends, is actually a very cool addition to the library currently available for GMK. I'm pretty excited about that kind of like taking off in the future. So I'm actually happy about GMK Norse as a precursor to key sets that could use those legends in the future. But I don't think I'm personally going to purchase GMK Norse right now. It's not in the budget, basically. Ten Peaches says, spend 40 to get 5 FR4 plates from JLC, but 60 USD for palm plates cut from Ponoco. Yeah, so Ponoco is kind of expensive sometimes. It just depends on quantity, and also, like, for you, wouldn't it ship internationally, actually? So that would be pretty expensive, even if you had a proxy. Alright, so let's decide on a key set now. I think we're pretty much done. Okay, good. Alright, we're done here, so let's decide on a key set now. Oh, shoot. Just realized. Alright, how heavy? That's a decent sized weight. Yeah, this is quite heavy. So I got a package scale recently. It's a nice package scale because I needed a bigger scale now. There's this one time I weighed something, it was like over 10 pounds or something. I was like, it like errored out. So this keyboard is 5 pounds and 1.3 ounces, which is equivalent to 2 kilograms, 2.3 kilograms, 2.3 kilograms, 2.3 kilograms, or 5 pounds and 1.3 ounces. Quite heavy, quite heavy. It's actually heavier than I thought. Oblivion with Hagoromo alphas. I do have Oblivion with... I do have Hagoromo alphas, yeah. I think I had the cadet ones too, actually. Holy Panders. Yeah. Have you seen GMK Taiga? I have not. GMK Taiga sounds like it's gonna be like winter themed, probably. But they're incorrect. Yeah, I think the runic legends. Some people were talking about that. Something about the legends not being accurate or something. But I mean, I personally don't know much about it. So the mod color is the best thing about the set. Favorite sounding build is a single V3. Yeah, singles sound good with outlet plates actually. That's over 2,001 gram. Wow, you know much more than freedom units. Druas, congratulations. Clap, clap. What is this hander bite for typing test option? It's a more expensive. It's more expensive to use a hander bite. If you want hander bite, it costs you more than using any other key set, because people ask for hander bite using the pick a key set like 10 Peaches just did. Okay, 10 Peaches asked for Oblivion, so I need to get Oblivion. So I actually have most of Oblivion on this board. So I'm gonna take off the mods, and then I'm gonna have to get some of the. Oh, I need to get some other mods too. So I'm gonna have to do that. Let's take the ones that we need for now. Hello, Miguelio Keyboards. Hello. Alright, so those are the ones that we have here, and then we need to get the rest. Do I even have Oblivion here? Oh, okay. I think I put it somewhere else. Okay, I'll be right back. One sec. I'll BRB, okay? Alright, I found them. Thoughts on the Nk87? Nk87 is a pretty nice kit for the price, I think. I didn't personally get to see it myself, like a prototype or anything like that, but the people who reviewed them said good things, so can't see anything wrong with it. You have any black TKL builds coming up? Black TKLs? Black TKLs, black TKLs? No, I don't have any black TKLs coming up. That I know of? No, not currently. I do not have any black TKL builds, no. Let's do bars today instead of scoops, because we did scoops the last time, I think. Okay. Nope. All right. We just need to pick an artisan, I guess. I'll put some artisans on the table. All right. Oblivion LP? No, I don't have such fancy things. I don't have expensive things like that. Well, not specifically that, because the commission rates are so pricey. Hydrate. Here's a few artisans though. Alright, y'all get a pick. I kind of organized some of these by color, so it's kind of like Roy G. Biv, slightly. Not really, after at some point I kind of got lazy. Yeah, many choices indeed. Bottom right one on the right side. Bottom right one on the right side. This one? It's like blue, right? This is kind of... It's kind of an accent. It's a nice accent. Black one with red, white, and blue. Black one. Black one. Oh, this one. This one. What about the Jam Jams? The Jam Jams is a good one. Yeah, this is a good one too. Necrobongo is good too. Yeah. Maybe let's pick from these three, shall we? I think these three are pretty good choices overall. So let's just pick from these three. Series is good too? Yeah, sure. We can put the series up for that. That's the one. Alright, y'all vote A, B, C, or D, and Yeah, so A, B, C, or D, basically. Maybe I'll plug this in. A, B, B. Okay, I'm just gonna. I see more A's right now, but I see a lot of D's too, though. Okay, I'm just gonna do a quick poll. Which artisan? A, Jam Jam, B, Bongo, C, Kipora, D, Serious. Alright, 1 minute, go. Oh wait, what? What do you mean doesn't meet guidelines? The fudge? Wait, what? Something's getting auto-modded in my poll apparently. So let's just do A, B, C, and D like that. Alright, done. Where is Dennis when you need a poll? Yeah, I don't know. Alright, so it's, again, A, B, C, or D like that, okay? Fighting for the spot. Oh wow, it's a tight race between A and D. Very tight race. Wow, it's like 1 vote. Whoa, it's tied. Damn. This is a tight race, guys. JD can tiebreak. JD tiebreak is basically my vote, right? Because JD respects me and my opinion. Okay. The vote was already won by A anyway, but Jax did the thing. It's okay. I will. Okay, guys. Chat decides. Do we take out? Do we take away Jack Static's points because he redeemed at the very end for no real good reason? Do we take away his points? do yeet. Alright, we punish Jack Static today. Alright, there we go. We have taken away his 5,000 points. Bet he has a ton more points anyway though, because he probably like watches stream but never uses them anyway, so. Alright. Here we have our good boy Jam Jams. Alright, let's put the typing test up. Again, you shouldn't expect too much from a typing test because this is silent switches after all. But we're gonna do it anyway. Let's see. You might hear more background than you might hear like the switches. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes though. Alright, here we go. Turn the gain up so we can hear all the scratch. It started up a decent bit. Alright, let's do this. Oh, it's getting in the way. Okay, let's go. Alright, here is a Squid 60 with Roselios loop with 25 grade 0 on a brass plate. Ah! Let's try that again. Also, I need to take this off because I can't hear a thing. How did Roselios feel in the brass plate? I mean, it's kind of stiff. The brass plates are stiff, but overall, it does just feel like kind of stiff on a brass plate. I don't think your mic is working. Hide the pain. Ah, yes, silence. Only silent switches I think are decent are Toper. Yeah, I can't do silent MX either. But yeah, that's just me. All right, here's the mods. It's like rubbing against the. Oh, never mind. Has the other one gone to surgery yet? No, actually, a replacement's coming in, and then I'll destroy the old one. I think that's what we're doing. Yeah, we can do a typing test. We can do it one more time. Let's do it one more time. We can do it one more time. Here goes the typing again. All right, here we go. It's Roselios on a brass plate. Okay. Kind of like the rattling sound. So actually that's the one thing about silent switches that I don't like. The rattling sound is probably from the spacebar. From the spacebar, like letting go on the spacebar. Yeah, but that's kind of normal on silent switches. Yeah. The spacebar itself is actually like not rattling. Unless the plate is moving around. That's possible considering the design of this squid. It's entirely possible. I don't like the sound of the sound of silent switches where they're not supposed to sound like anything. So that's probably why you don't like them. Naturally, I think. The rattle can be fixed with a tape mod. Yeah. We can probably try some of that. Probably try doing that tape thing. I have some tape. Yeah, so Yelsu, the design of the squid is such that the plate is kind of sandwiched between the two pieces, so it kind of like just wedges into the bottom. So you can see. So the way this works is just like wedges in like that, and basically by applying some tape between the blocker and the plate, you basically have a bit more friction between those two parts. How much lube a silent switch when compared to non-silent? Pretty much the same. I would say the same. Yeah, same amount of lube for silent or non-silent. Alright, we can put some tape. We have some gaffer's tape here. Glorious gaffer's tape that I bought for good reason. And it's been useful for so many things. Alright, let me see how big I need to be. So whoever was suggesting the tape, did Chewwy recommend doing one layer or more than that? Because I actually don't know. How much will be enough? Hopefully one layer is enough. But maybe I'll add a... The only thing I miss about working in the music industry is the unlimited gaff tape supply. Yeah, I used to work in media a bit, and it was the same thing. It's like the best part. Maybe I'll just add a one tick up here, like a platform. I feel like it was one, I forget now. Okay, it's okay, I'll just do two, and the middle part is just sustained. Yeah, it should be fine. Alright. Thoughts on Angel 65. Same thoughts I would have if you were the Prophet. So if you ask people around for the Prophet, it basically applies for the Angel because it's the same design but for a 65. just realized no music, but I hope you guys don't mind. You can give it a shot. All right, let's do it one more time. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oops. It does sound better. It's just a bit more like consistent. And just some mods. I like the backspace and the right shift and the spacebar. Actually, I like the spacebar. Spacebar improved like 300%. That's good. Backspace sounds like Torpy. Kind of does actually. Like a variant Dome Torpy. All right. So that's all I got for y'all for now. All right. So let's zoom back out. And so let's show you what the keyboard looks like from up close. Oh, that's right. Here it is from up close with GMK Oblivion with Hagoromo Alphas and a Jam Jams by Keycaps. Squid 60. Here's the side. Pretty nice board. Can you type on the thermal so I can cleanse my ears? Sure, I could do that. Here's the bottom. And the front. So if you were like typing on the desk, like on the desk you would kind of see it like this, I guess. But yeah. Pretty nice board. Very heavy. Very heavy board. It's like 5 pounds. We measured it earlier. The UPS man. It's like 5 pounds. Oh. You can try typing on the thermal one more time. Shall we try the thermal? Alright. Let's try typing on the thermal one time. And then I have to go. But here we go. Oh. So the thermal has MX blacks with tribos 203. Do exclamation keyboard for details on the thermal. Okay. Ah, sorry. Got uncomfortable. Lots of mistakes, but whatever. Yeah. And if you want to hear the mods, hear the mods. Sounds like stock unlubed switch. It's not stock. It's very lightly lubed, for sure. It's definitely lightly lubed. It's very smooth though. It's like lubing with RO59 almost. It's like very lightly lubed, but it's like a very smooth switch. Alright, and that's what we have. Lightly loose switches over slow motion switches any day? I agree with that. I agree with that. And here's what it looks like. Oops. That's what the thermal looks like. Have a good night. Thanks for a chill stream. Have a good night, my friend. Hope you have a good evening as well. Thank you so much for joining. Alright, so we're done. Pretty much. Have you tried 808 inks? I have not. I did not order any, so I have not tried them. Unfortunately. But I assume they're probably similar. I haven't really heard anything specific to them. But yeah. Alright. So let's see who's currently streaming. We have Beastrol's playing Counter-Strike apparently. Chat versus everything. Deck 1 Bell. Haven't seen him in a while. Wow. That's new. That's all I have for keyboard people actually. Oh, Dr. Huru is also streaming too if you're interested in I'm not sure what he's doing, but he's doing ICGB review. Oh, okay. If you're interested in that. I enjoyed my stay. Goodbye, Druas. Thank you so much for joining. So for coming up on the next build, we will most likely have... It's very likely I'll have another unicorn. Or it might be a different build. But I'll keep you guys in the know as we go. I might probably decide on the spot depending on what I have available. So, yeah. But it's gonna be a unicorn or a different board. Alright, let's go raid Dr. Huru. We haven't raided Dr. Huru in a bit, so... Diego betrayed us. He didn't even stream Popeye's mukbang. Was I supposed to stream that? I didn't realize I was supposed to stream it. I do have some Popeyes in the fridge, which I actually might eat now because I'm kind of very hungry now. Alright. Let's go raid Dr. Huru and give him a message. Say... Dr. Huru... Dr. Huru, did you... no, that's too memey, but... let's see. Well, let's just raid him. I don't have a raid message for him. I don't have anything to tell him right now. Let's just raid him. But thank you all for... Say bye to JD for me. JD was comfortably with his blankie. He says bye. Bye Super Switch. Bye Sandra. Bye everybody. Bye Yelsu, Trinola, everybody. Dr. Huru be my guru. Bye bye. Alright, y'all. I'll see y'all sometime later this week. But yeah, KB Wars, it was nice seeing you. Alright, friends. Thank you so much, and I'll see y'all next time. Have a good night.